new Paper Mario Origami King game is just on the horizon and you feel really excited, but every other person just seems to be like,
can't you just feel bad about it?
And you don't understand why. I mean, your two most favorite things in the world are coming together. What's there to hate?
Well, if you've been paying attention to the Paper Mario community's gospel, it goes a little bit like this.
I love this slightly more than breathing. I wish I stopped breathing after I played this game. So let's really understand what most Paper Mario fans want to see in Origami King, but to do that, we first have to take a look back at Paper Mario 64 and the Thousand Year Door because they were so good. Conversely, we have to understand why Sticker Star and Color Splash were so hated that just a mere mention of it causes people to rethink all their life choices since 2016. To be able to understand what we'd want in Origami King, we first have to understand what was done well. Let's go back to a time when Juicy and Dyed Spike Tips ravaged the planet. It's 2001. Paper Mario releases in the States. Originally, this was supposed to be a successor to Super Mario RPG, and they were going to creatively name it Super Mario RPG 2 for the Nintendo 64 DD. But audiences of the 64 DD were like, the 64 DD project failed. They scrapped the CD, developed it for cartridge sale, and according to Wikipedia, named it Paper Mario solely due to its 2D aesthetics. You don't say. The player controls Mario and a party of followers as they journey through the Mushroom Kingdom, exploring dungeons, managing stats, and battling enemies. That's the vanilla explanation of Paper Mario 64. The crowning characteristics that were in the original were its character diversity, partner system, battle mechanics, story, and bosses. Fast forward to 2004 and everybody was putting down their Dance Dance Revolution Ultra Mix 2 for Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door. Nintendo did it again. Amazing story, a plethora of enemies and character diversity, more on the nose paper theme aesthetics and abilities, experience gain, recipes, and unique crowds to cheer you on that could also aid or harm you in battle. Now, you can do this.
Holy sh**.
If Paper Mario 64 was an excellent game, Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door perfected the Paper Mario franchise, taking every single aspect and just cranking it by a ton. Character diversity. First 5 minutes of the game, look at this Bob-omb. It's so different. Partner system. Did I mention this? Story. There's demons involved in a Mario game. Bosses. Toads straight up die and get eaten. This gravy train just kept going past Thanksgiving and Nintendo was on top of the world. Then things started to change. 2007 came knocking with Super Paper Mario, and with Nintendo's brand new Money Baby already making crazy sales since November, fans were ecstatic to try out this brand new game. But they found something odd. Turn-based battle systems were now gone. This time around, RPG elements are incorporated into normal platforming. And it did this thing.
I like it.
This had a lot of new and refreshing gameplay mechanics and was actually quite fun. Even the story was rich and surprisingly dark, like a void growing large enough to destroy the universe and sending Mario to hell kind of dark. But the Paper Mario community believes taking this IP into a 2D, 3D platforming experiment seems to be the turning point of the franchise. The train is coming on, and the worst is yet to come. November 11th. 2012. Paper Mario Sticker Star releases for the 3DS and wow.
At least the world's supposed to end in just about a month.
On the surface level, you wouldn't expect a bad game to be in there. Again, it's our two favorite things after all. And while it seems they have returned to their original Paper Mario formula, it was more of a backhanded compliment. The very first problem is you no longer use moves that you learn. Now you must use stickers that are littered all over the game as one-time use moves. And you don't gain any experience or levels from defeating enemies, which then discourages encountering any enemies at all. You're incentivized to avoid them completely so you don't waste your time to continue progressing the story. Instead of a connected world like all Mario RPGs until this point, it's split into separate levels in a hub world like a traditional 2D Mario game. You finish that stage and move on. What about the story? A sticker comet explodes and corrupts Bowser, and now it's up to you to put them all back together. That's it. Surprisingly, a big contributor to this major shift in Paper Mario was Miyamoto himself. Developers were asked as much as possible to complete the game with only characters from Super Mario World. Miyamoto also asked the developers to change the gameplay and battles because he considered them to be too familiar to the Thousand Year Door. He also asked developers to greatly de-emphasize the game's story, saying it's fine without a story, so do we really need one? Why? Okay, so Sticker Star isn't that great. Hopefully they're gonna fix it in the next one.
I mean, after all, It was a handheld.
May I introduce you, Sticker Star 2, I mean Paper Mario Color Splash. Oh boy, this one's a doozy. Before I get down and dirty, I want to say I actually did have some fun playing through this one. First, the game looks beautiful. Every single object, background, and building looks like it was carefully paper crafted to perfection. The world really incentivizes exploration and discovery. Additionally, you can really tell the writers took their time ramping up the jokes per minute dialogue gauge. All right, hopefully that's been enough of a buffer for the onslaught of criticism this game is going to get from me. And it deserves it because god damn it, I want a good Origami King. Sticker Star was considered the worst game in the series. Why did Nintendo think it was a good idea to continue its legacy on a home console? Character diversity. Yeah, about that. No experience, no problem. Let's max up that paint meter so you don't run out of a resource that's literally everywhere. Yeah, I'm gonna avoid every enemy encounter possible. The card system. Single-use items are not as enjoyable as learned abilities you can use endlessly as long as you have a resource that is required to be accounted for and managed, such as FP in the Thousand-Year Door. Do I care about using this jump card? No, finding cards is as easy as holding my joystick to the right. Hey, remember partners added complexity of decision-making in battles with? Yeah, me neither. And speaking of battles, this, my friends, is literally the worst part about Color Splash right here. While I'm prepping everything I need to do to make one attack, I'm gonna have a button press meter over here on the top left corner of the screen so that you can see how many clicks I have to do to attack once. Okay, so first you have to pick your card. We're gonna scroll through here. Let's see, I don't have much, so I'll just pick this thing right here, place it. Then you have to do cards ready. Then you have to paint your card. And then you would think that when you hit done painting, that's that. But no, you have to slide the card up to actually use it. Look at that counter, and this is all before using your action commands just to attack once. This battle system was the biggest buzzkill for me for Color Splash. It was really unfortunate because this really could have been considered a decent game, but they have to use a different battle system in Origami King. If it's anything close to this shit, I'm gonna uninstall the game faster than me realizing that Taco Cat is a palindrome. Whoa. So let's go over all of the aspects of every Paper Mario game we have observed that we want to see in Origami King before it releases. If you're watching this after it has officially released July 17th, let me know in the comments below how many features made it and what didn't. The first thing we should mention is the large cast of characters that we were lacking from the previous two entries. Mainstay members like Peach, Mario, and Bowser are an exception, but endless Toads colored differently and maybe rocking a scarf is simply just not enough. Let's have the endless character variation that we had in Thousand Year Door and Paper Mario 64. Look at this guy! No one-time usables, no stickers, no cards. I want to feel like I'm actually going to have a synapse fire and have a real thought when I'm thinking about my moves, like choosing which FP move I would use in Thousand Year Door, or maybe I should switch partners that has a move or ability more effective for the unique situation I'm in. I don't want to use cards or stickers that are constantly fleeting that uses a seemingly unlimited resource like paint. As much as I want a challenge that comes from constructive thought, from a wide array of choices I can make in battle. What I do not want is to spend half of my time literally trying to execute a single move. Color Splash was way too long. Sticker Star was stupidly simple. Let us feel like we're achieving something for our time. You know what is a perfect progression system? Experience game into continuous levels that give us small but useful rewards every time we get there. And sure, they tried to bring some of that back with the hammers you pick up in Color Star, but the reward for maxing the bar was pointless. Letting you max out your capacity to hold more of a paint resource is pointless if the resource is already literally on every freaking thing that you can hit your hammer with.
Now, at this point, I think it's clear what most Paper Mario fans want to see in Origami King, and conversely, what they don't want to see. So, if you're watching this video before the game comes out, I'm crossing my fingers, and if you're watching this video after, Jesus!
Is it good?